Hello and welcome to a recap of day 5 in the Sarah Boone case. A day that started rough. A day where I think, even though I have been told by lawyers that it's so great, all the lawyer working going on, I feel the defense did a lot to turn the jury against them because we had so many motions or so many objections that sent them out of the room. And I think the jury spent most of the day in the morning outside of the courtroom, not inside it, listening to evidence. And I know I don't know anything. I'm a stupid baker. What do I know about the law? It was very important that we had a big argument over an expert who actually was going to say exactly what the defense wanted, that Sarah Boone suffered from BSS. That we had a big Richardson hearing where the defense started yelling at the state expert instead of just getting to the things he wanted to ask her about. And in the end, when the jury came back in, nothing had happened because the defense didn't want her testimony stricken anyway. I think maybe it's because I'm Danish. Maybe it's because I only do Danish jury duty. But I think it's kind of universal. If you're sitting in that box for 15 bucks a day or however much you are paid, and you have to sit in a jury room smelling Johnny's BO instead of listening to the evidence 5 days into a case, and you come back into the courtroom and nothing really has changed, I don't think it endears you to the guy who keeps getting you sent out of the room. But we had that in-camera hearing about the literary rights. So maybe Owens was mad that they accused him of breaking the rules. So he wanted something back on the state. And he really wanted the state's expert thrown out, but he couldn't get that. And then he just kept rehashing the same stupid arguments over and over. The judge yelled at him multiple times. Anyone who sees him as Jose Bias 2.0 should really, after yesterday, admit that, maybe we was just hoping that something magical will happen because he's inept. He doesn't know case law. He can't argue for his arguments, even though he's constantly told, we have talked about this, move on. He goes right back to it. I know we're talking about throwing spaghetti at the wall and hitting every ball sent over the plate, but the defense team is in shambles. Yesterday, they seemed really off their game. And I know why. The rest of the day after the expert has left, we went into what will, in my opinion, get Sarah to prison. I started my show replaying him begging for his life in a suitcase, just because it seems like people have forgotten what this case really is about. It's not about Sarah. It's about Jorge. Mo said it perfectly. Then we went through body cam video after body cam video showing Sarah constantly called the police. She called them to talk about a stolen bike. She called to have him taken away. The police knew they had been at the house before because they was there so much. That totally deflates Sarah's BSS defense with, I had no other option. You had him locked up in a suitcase. He couldn't do anything to you. You could have called the cops. There were multiple videos where he was out of a suitcase and she still called the cops right next to him. Every video showed George being surprised the police was there. One of the times he was sleeping and he said, this is how it always goes. She starts it and then she calls you. So Sarah had no problem calling the police every other time but this time. Why? This time he was securely locked away and couldn't get out of a suitcase. Why? Why this night did you feel the need to locking him in a suitcase, beat him with a bat, and then go to sleep because you wanted to punish him? You've said that before. Anyone who sees Sarah as a victim in anything other than she also did to George really have to look at those videos we saw yesterday. We saw Sarah constantly manipulate the police. George, she did all the things that is a perpetrator of BSS modus operandi. She controlled him completely. And after that, the coup de grace. Sarah's own videos. Remember in the interview video, she says, there's videos on there showing how he abused me. We had multiple videos where Sarah demeaned George, treated him like he was dirt. She was berating him constantly. One of the videos, I'll agree, he launched at her. She said, "Get away from me, I'm screaming bloody murder." He walked away because he wasn't allowed in the bedroom that night. Remember, he was always breaking into the bedroom to have sex with her. The guy was sleeping in the hallway. She woke him up just to yell at him and tell him to go downstairs and sleep. When he went downstairs, as she ordered, what did Sarah do? Did she go in there, lock the door, barricade it because she was so afraid she knew the monster was going to come out? No. She walked halfway down the stairs, still belittling him, still taunting him. Go back, all of you who says she's the victim, go back and see what her own expert says are the traits of a BSS perpetrator. George visibly became thinner and thinner during the videos. Whenever he was a little bit upbeat, he called Lucas a beautiful boy. And when he gets over here, I don't want any silence. I wanted it to be go, go. She was controlling him in every single of these videos. Those videos that were showing how mean he was, how evil he was, how much he mistreated her. I know some people are really invested in being right that Sarah did nothing wrong. I've seen some people saying, well, those videos just show something, but oh, all the DV marks we saw on her, remember the black eye and that little bit of blood in her ear? Is that I'm not saying they both weren't abusive, but this case isn't about if he slapped Sarah or didn't slap Sarah, if she slapped him or didn't slap him. This is it okay to kill a guy by putting him in a suitcase, leaving him to asphyxiate? I think a lot of people have forgotten what this case is about. And watching those handheld videos on her phone with her narration on it will send her upriver. I have no doubt about it. And I'm always wrong. So she's an evil, evil woman. They had an equally abusive relationship, but she was the alpha in that household. She was mean. She was vindictive. She was always harassing George in every video. She was controlling him via the police, getting him taken away, calling him to get back, then calling the police to remove him again. I think everyone who's been in a relationship with any kind of the same dynamics in it felt yesterday on a visual level. I don't say we all have to agree. I don't say that I'm right. But anyone who will diminish what Sarah did to George really have to say think, why? Why is it so important for me that she's in the right, that she's allowed to torture a man to death? In medieval times, in the Pacific theater, one of the things they did to people was lock them in small confined spaces because it hurts like when your body is being pressed together. That's what you think is okay because, well, he might have hit her. Yes, she might have hit him too. What we know happened that day, everything was fine. Everything was good. It was a good day. We were having fun. I stuffed him in the suitcase. We were having fun. And then I just wanted to have my captive audience. And then in those magic 9 minutes she can't remember anything about, George turned into the Hulk. Contrary to every single time we have seen George in any video, he flipped. He threatened her. She had to kill him. This isn't self-defense. This is murder. This is an evil woman who killed a man who wasn't a good man. But no matter if you're good or bad, you don't deserve to be tortured to death just because your drunk girlfriend wants to go to sleep after she beaten you with a bat and left you in a suitcase. Closings will be today afternoon. We will hear some text messages read in the morning. And I need to calm down because yesterday got really annoying because of all the trolls and people who really should get a hobby. But this is the Broken Baker where we normally have fun and I don't get this mad. So please join us today, 9 a.m. Mo and I will be going at it again. And if Jamie has done her seal cleaning duty, she will also be here. Thank you all so much for watching.